And we're live.
What's up, everybody?
I saw you placing bets, Brad. Is that going to be like a weekly thing now?
Yeah, he's always going to have that hat on.
No, not always. But
or a hat, maybe.
I think it depends how messy my hair is before I come down and get set up.
There you go.
So,
cheers, David.
I am starting out with a Buffalo Trace, the OHLQ pick.
I'm just doing a standard Buffalo Trace. It's my like house decanter bourbon, so that's what I was like. I'll just go with that. So.
I think the picks are better than the regular Buffalo Trace. Like I think that pick's better than a regular Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I've only ever had one pick.
Cheers, everyone.
3 bottles of it, and I was like, this is definitely different. It's like an age-dated 7-year one. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, this one doesn't have any age or anything on it, but it's a good bottle.
Actually, I have another one. I forgot I got this little like 375 one from Toddy's Liquor. So
hi, Shauna. Toddy's Liquor. So Brad said he picked up a Sagamore Double Oak that he just fresh cracked. I love the Sagamore Double Oak.
Yeah,
great bottle. Great bottle.
So yeah, cheers, everyone.
Jared comes in and just starts bragging. He got 2 of the batch 13s this week already. The H. Taylor, the barrel proofs.
Yeah. Nice. Well, congratulations. I'm trying to get just a Stagg. We'll see. We'll see if I can get one.
That we will talk about that tonight. That is something we want to talk about is here in Ohio. I know we have a lot of Ohio people, but for those of you not in Ohio, it's a big week here at Stagg Week. So Stagg and E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof have been dropping, and with them have been dropping like E.H. Taylor Small Batch and Eagle Rare and stuff. So even people like later in line have been getting bottles, and it's been dropping in pretty good quantities.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of places.
Ridiculous quantities, and then there's mine that's like you're getting a couple bottles. I'm like, all right, well, I got to get up there then. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, I got a 1924 today as well. 110. So that's a good price.
Not Union, good. We don't like that one.
110's good price. I paid 120 at the distillery for it.
Yeah. 24C. Oh, nice, Mr. Patrick.
You can get whatever you want. I can too if I go early enough. You got to go line up.
I remember, I think like 2 years ago when Stagg was coming out, and it was like batch 17, whatever, 17, 18, and maybe 19. Everyone was getting out there like the night before. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I don't know about the night before, but maybe a couple hours before.
Cheers, Whiskey Wisdom. Yeah. So like 2 years ago when Stagg dropped in Ohio, I went out at midnight. I had to go like midnight to be able to get one. Yeah. Now they're dropping in better quantity. It's not quite as, I don't know, maybe not as many people going out as early. So you can go out 5 a.m. and get one instead of going out at midnight.
Yeah, I've gone out like 6 o'clock. I've gotten my car rear-ended going out for Stagg.
Oh, that was hilarious. Tell that story, Devin. That was funny.
So
cheers, David.
Yeah, so I was like, Todd, you got Stagg by you? He's like, yeah, they're dropping it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be here. I'm like, all right, I'll come down there. I'll meet up with you. We'll hang out. And then I think we did some filming or something afterward or just met up or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. I get there. And I'm like, you know what? It's like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm going to just take a nap in my car. So I was taking a nap. And then I was rudely awoken by a Fulton Judd from the back of my car. And I was like, what the heck was that? And next thing you know, I see this guy. He's like, I saw there was 11 chairs. So I just pulled in real quick or whatever to get a spot in line. And I was like, it's going to cost you a Stagg to, keep this quiet. No, I'm kidding. But I was like, no, there's no damage. I think we're good. I mean, like, I got his number just in case there was any, like, my wheel fell off on the way home or anything. But, we're good here. So
cheers, Adam. It was hilarious, though. We were sitting there watching. And this guy came screaming in the parking lot. He wanted to try to get there and make sure he was in line early enough to get one of those Staggs. And he just, like,
boom,
tried to pull in, hit his brakes the last second, and just bam, right in the back of Devin's car.
I was like, wow, what a day. What bourbon will do to you, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So maybe he was out drinking the night before and then he had to get there for the Stagg drop. That must have been.
Whiskey Wisdom said it was worth the Stagg.
Yeah.
It was worth rear-ending somebody to get the Stagg.
Yeah, that's when they're like, sorry, no Stagg. We only got Buffalo Trace today. And you're like, are you serious? He's got rear-ended for this.
Yeah, Renee says he was counting chairs, so he never looked forward. He never really saw how close he was.
It's like 1, 2, 3, boom. Yeah. But at least it wasn't like 80 miles an hour on a freeway. One of those.
Right. Well, I have been at the office this week. I haven't had a chance to get out to get anything, but I have family members, luckily, who will go out during the day who are free. Yeah. So even though I haven't been out, I have got a 24B.
Ooh.
So I already had 24A from the last drop. So that's nice. 24B. I'm looking to try and get the C and D. So I have somebody who has already told me they'll trade me a 24C for a different stag, and I've got some extras of others. So I should be able to get the C. Now I got to get the D somehow this weekend.
Got to get the D.
Got to have the D. Keith, I love that bottle. That Hard Truth 4 grain. That's a really good bottle. I'm really excited to see how that comes forward as Hard Truth as their stuff gets older. I really like their stuff.
Cheers, Eric.
But that wasn't all, Devin, that we've got this week here.
Oh. Huh.
E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Batch 13. Two of them.
Oh.
So it's been a pretty good week.
I have something over here. No, that's good. Awesome.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, so it's been a good week so far. Got the 24B, the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, the new batch. Got a trade set up for a C. Now I just have to get the 24D, and I'll have gotten all the drops for this week.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty good. That's after we've had a pretty long streak of like without any really good bottles dropping here in Ohio.
Yeah, it was like a few months. I felt like they had like that one little like
cheers, Steven.
Foolproof day, but that was about it. So
what was that? That wasn't in January, right? That was
I think that was November, like mid.
No, that was November. That was the last time. The only thing we've really had since November was the Four Roses limited edition that dropped, and it was real sporadic.
Yeah.
So it's not been great.
We will see. Yeah,
Brian says,
you guys have all the stores. I have like a few stores I could go to, but
well, don't live in the middle of nowhere. That's what happens when you live out in the middle of nowhere. Brian says he didn't get the A last time, but he's gotten the B, C, and D this week, and got the barrel proof Havana and still Austin cast strength. Wow, you've had a real busy week, Brian.
Gee, slow down.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good week.
Yeah, I was watching a video Mash and Drum did on the Havana versus the Rio, and I was like, oh, all right, I might have to pick one of those up.
And I don't know if he's in the chat, but Ken, I like bourbon a lot. It's his screen name, sent us samples of some Penelope.
Oh,
so
awesome.
We do have samples of the Havana for us to try and for Patrick to try, because Patrick was on the live stream when he said he'd send them last week to us.
We'll have to try it on the February 8th, the day of days.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to probably open one tonight and give it the Havana a try, just because Renee wants to try it.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
But yes, but he sent like the Takagi, the 15-year-old American light whiskey, and some other stuff. So he sent a bunch of Penelope.
The Takagi one looked very interesting. I was like, I don't know how they did that, but I was like, sounds good. I was like, interesting.
Brad, he got the last bottle of the 375 Blantons I needed. And I'll be back down in Northern Kentucky when we go pick up our barrel pick. So when New Riff says it's all bottled, I got to go pick up the cases and bring them back. So I'll be down there then.
Yeah.
David asked, did I get another bottle this week? Yeah, I got one of the Jack Daniels OHLQ picks that came out this week. One of the Jack Daniels barrel proof picks. Yeah, barrel proof pick. We also had come in the barrel pick we did in Old Dominic. So that we did with bourbon together. We went over there to Memphis for. So I got those bottles. They arrived this week.
Freeze.
What?
Awesome. Well, hopefully it's as good as you remember.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I'll probably open it on the 8th. Have everybody give it a
freezing
try.
Again.
I'm freezing? Am I frozen?
Awesome. Yeah, a little bit. When you were like grabbing the bottles, it was like, maybe it was just me. I don't know. But I remember I live out in the middle of nowhere. So
Barry wants us to talk about American light whiskey. I've only had a couple. I know it's American light whiskey's the higher barrel entry proof, that they don't have to be new barrels, that they age them in.
Yeah, it could be, I think 160 or above 160 distilled and entered at whatever, if my memory serves me right. And then, yeah, I think it can be just regular barrels. It doesn't have to be new barrels. So,
yeah, it's so that American light whiskey, it comes out usually a lot more higher proof. The ones I have, like I have the King's American Light, and it's at 138, real high proof. It's like 17-year. That Penelope that we got the sample of was a 15-year.
Okay.
So, I mean, from what I've had, I've liked it, but I haven't had a lot of it.
Yeah, the only one I've had, I think, other than the one you had, and I think I've had like little samples or something here and there, like restaurants or whatever. But it's just the Obtainium. So, even though it's Canadian, but yeah, it's still pretty good.
That's Canadian light whiskey.
Yeah. It's close enough.
Patrick said you were freezing, not me. I was like, I didn't think I was freezing.
Well,
Thomas Anderson.
Maybe it was my connection, and it just showed you freezing on my end, and I was the frozen one or whatnot, I guess. But oh well.
Thomas says that he's cracking open the Woodford Reserve 121.2 batch proof. That's last year's, isn't it? I think 114 is a good price though.
Yeah, 114 is like way less than retail. I think retail's like 149.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good price on it. Yeah, I have a bottle of that. And somebody didn't bring somebody. Was it Jim who brought this year's the 119?
I think it was the 119.
Proof. Yeah, to the meeting last week.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then I think it's Paul who brought the 121 from this or last year.
No, I have the 121. I have the 121, but Trevor said he got a 24C today in the Ohio lines, and it was his first 24C. Was it your first 24C or your first Stagg period, Trevor? Yeah. Congrats though on getting any Stagg. You know, they were so hard to get there for a while a few years ago that it's nice to not have to fight so hard, to go out at midnight and stay in your car all night. That was awful when I did that.
Yeah. I remember it used to be that, and then it would always be like if they had it was 6, and then maybe they'd wholesale, and then you'd be like, "Here's 2," and you're like, "Huh."
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like, "Well," and like our buddy Matt, he was like, "Well, I'm in line. I'm number 13, I think," and he's like, "I hope they have it, and they get 3 cases," and he's like, "They have 3 cases," or it was 2 cases and
a barrel proof case. So yeah, so that was good. He got there. He only had to wait like 2 hours to get it or something. Congrats, Trevor. So that was his first Stagg period. That's awesome. Enjoy it.
Open it.
Definitely open it. Enjoy it. Don't flip it or anything like that. Open that thing up and enjoy it.
Yeah, flip the cork. That's it. Just
David's second Stagg. He got his wife got him a Stagg today.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's his second Stagg. Bill said he's been on day 4 of drinking the 24D. There you go. Drink until it's gone. Yeah. How was it from day 1 to day 4?
Yeah. There you go. When you ready to try some Stagg there, Todd?
I am. I am going to drink some Stagg now that I had a little opener.
Yeah. I was getting a lot of grape and cherry on this Buffalo Trace, even though it's just a regular one. But it was in like a open decanter, well, not open decanter, but a decanter that I've had that's like got this much left in it for a little bit. So maybe that opened it up really well.
Keith said he got a second bottle of the Turkey Buffalo Trace 15-year.
Yeah.
Elkwood Reserve from Bluegrass Distillery, 123 proof. He's getting the Balboa rye tomorrow at New Riff.
Yeah, I saw you can get, I think,
we got your entries in the lottery too, Keith. And again, everybody, if you don't know, I guess I'll go over it real quick. On the 8th, just a little over a week, we have these two Weller antiques that are being raffled off for every $5 in Super Chat or $4 through Zelle or PayPal. You get an entry into the raffle. So we'll be drawing those winners on the 8th in our live stream for our special giveaway. And we will be also giving away 2 Eagle Rare and 2 Pinhook store picks just to people who are on the live. Yep. And one of our Patreons will be winning a bottle of Weller Full Proof.
Exciting times. So.
I am going to go ahead and this was 23B.
That's what I got.
23B here. That's what you got. All right. All right.
Yeah, that's the one I got here ready to go. I was like, I got a little bit left at 22B, and I'm like, well, I'll have a 23C then because I want to, have a little bit of this one too, I guess.
Yeah, I like all the Stags. Keith wants details on New Riff. So, Brad, New Riff released email to the people who are signed up as tier members or whatever that the Balboa rye is going to be available. It's been out the last couple of years. They haven't made it because some kind of grain shortage, like the grain they use for it. But the grain's back, and they're now releasing another bottle. It's been a couple of years since it's been released. The Balboa rye is really good too.
Yeah. They got knocked out by Apollo Creed, and it was in submission for a year or two.
Yeah. David says, cheers to his wife for the Stagg 24D. Cheers to your wife.
Yeah, cheers.
My wife has gotten a lot of bottles, so she loves to hunt. She'll go out, and we'll actually go out separate places a lot of times on like a Saturday in case one place doesn't have it, maybe the other will. Yeah. And that happened to us. That happened the last time when Stagg 24A came out. You and I, Devin, were somewhere else, and then she went to a different store and she got it and we didn't.
Yeah, still got a Taylor single barrel, so I was like, all right, I'll take.
At least it was something, yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we did some filming after. I'm like, all right, we'll make a day of this. It'll be good. So, yeah. But yeah, this one's very like cherry cola, grapey.
I like it. It's got good nose. Yeah, Brad. Anybody can get it. It's going to be at the distillery. That Balboa. It's not like it's. You just have to go to the distillery and get it. I think it's distillery only though, so you have to go to the distillery to get it.
I think I saw it like a year ago at a store, and I was like, "Gosh, I get it. I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll pass on it for now." But I'm like, we had it at the distillery when we were down there for the barrel pick. And I was like, "All right, it's pretty good, pretty good."
Yeah,
and then it turned out pretty well when Scott brought it to our was it Bottle and Bond night? That was
yeah. That we did a Bottle and Bond. That was his entry. Yeah, so we had our bourbon club meeting last weekend. So if you don't know, Devin and I are part of a bourbon club that we started about 4 years ago now, something like that. 3-4 years ago.
3 years.
I don't even remember. 3 years ago.
So many pours ago. It was a pours bottle away. Yeah.
And we meet monthly, and we pick a theme. And everybody brings us like a blind sample, and we try the samples and kind of vote on a winner and stuff from the samples.
Yeah.
And so last weekend the theme was a fresh crack, so it was wide open. It could be anything you wanted that you just fresh cracked to bring to the gathering.
Yeah, New Year, new bottle.
Yeah, we had a couple of real bangers. So what ended up winning was a 2021 Coy Hill, which was absolutely amazing. Yeah, David was you probably watched some of the shorts I posted. that Paul's bottle.
Yes, that is Paul's bottle. Not my bottle. I had the 2024. He's got the 2021, but we did a review on it. So I was like, well, but I still have it. I'll bring it on the 28th or the 8th. I mean. So.
Paul said, show the winning bottle. So, yeah, that's what he did. He showed your bottle. Yeah, so that Coy Hill, what was it, 141? What was it?
142.8.
Man, that thing was so good.
Barrel House 13. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we also, I think, second place was the Stagg 24B, right, that Jason brought.
Now I'm trying to remember all the different ones we had.
Well, there was a rare character that was like a hazmat. It was a
Yeah.
hazmat rare character.
Yeah, it was like first, second, and then like tied for third and fourth, and then tied for fifth and sixth. It was like a whole.
And then afterwards, Patrick opened his King of Kentucky. It was like a fresh crack. Whoever hosts, like we have new rules. Whoever hosts has to have a fresh crack. And his fresh crack was a King of Kentucky. So we had Coy Hill hazmat and a rare character hazmat and King of Kentucky, and it was a
heck of a night. Barrel fry. We had a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the E.H. Taylor barrel proof rye. Paul brought that. We tried that too. That was the first time I'd had that.
Same. I was like, wow, interesting.
Trevor, did we get the E.H. Taylor barrel proof this week? You might have missed it earlier. I surprised Devin by showing him I did. In fact, get batch 13.
One for you, one for Renee.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
So I did get the batch 13, which I have 11 and 12 already. So I definitely wanted to get batch 13.
Yeah, correct that King of Kentucky when you close on it. That's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a great bottle to celebrate with.
Did you already?
It was really good.
Did you already get the house? You're just waiting on it to close. Because if so, then you're like, oh, I already got an expected date where I'm like, I'm getting to open this. So,
Jared, open the EH. I think I'm going to save that for our get together we're having on the 8th. Is when I'll open the EH.
Awesome.
Because I know everybody's going to want to try it. So
we did not drink the Malort.
No, we did. There was Malort at the house. We did not drink Malort.
It was in the presence of us, but it was not opened and consumed. Which is probably good.
Struck out on Stagg, but got 128. Excuse me, 128.5 proof JD single barrel proof.
Yeah.
I got that same. That's the one I got. The 128.5 is the same one I got, Steve. I haven't opened it yet, but all JD single barrel proofs are going to be good. I mean, whether it's a pick or not, honestly. But yeah, I got that same proof.
Yeah.
But don't give up yet, Steve. If you're still in Ohio, I'm guessing you're here in Ohio. Saturday morning, all of these Giant Eagles and Acme's and Kroger's are all going to be dropping at the same time, and people can only be at one place at a time.
That's right.
And so you'll have if you get up and go a little bit early, you're going to have a really good chance of getting a Stagg Saturday.
Yeah. It's kind of nice that most places are like Saturdays now, and you're like, well, you can't like go, all these other days and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. But
well, they did that on purpose because you have the people, who go every day. They would go to every store and get as many as they can to flip, right? So they go someplace in the morning, then the place that releases in the afternoon, and then the next day, the same thing over and over. So OHLQ already had Giant Eagle doing Saturdays. So they really wanted Acme and Kroger to also go to Saturdays at the same time, just to kind of spread it out. So, you got a lot more people able to get bottles than the people who just chase it all week.
Yeah.
So Brad said he's hunting at the moment. Loans approved, cash is in the bank. Well, that's the hardest part is finding a place. So
yeah, I looked for like 10 or 11 months. And finally,
you did look for a long time.
Yeah. And then what happens is you go through the whole process. You're like, all right, I'll put an offer on this house. I didn't get it. I put an offer on this. I didn't get it. And then finally you get like hey, you got it. And you're like, is that the house I really wanted? I don't know. Hang on. Let me think. So, but I think I did all right here. So I think I'm good. But
the worst is putting in a bid and just to wait to see if you get it and other people outbidding you.
Yeah. Well, when I got mine, they were like, hey, there's someone else that's just a little bit higher than you, but the owner is a veteran, so they want to give it to like a military service member and all that. I was like, well, I'll work with you a little bit. And they're like, all right, we'll go with you. I was like, sweet. Awesome. So it worked out. So that was like lucky, but a lot of places, I guess, at least more in the past, but not as much recent. They don't like do the VA home loans and whatnot. So they're like, VA home loans, pest inspections. I don't know. We'll just do this person that's doing cash and no inspection. And you're like, all right, you got me. So,
well, how many's in that group, Trevor? Because places have been getting most places have been getting like 2 cases of Stagg. So it's not like before where places would get 1 case and they would hold 3 bottles back for wholesale. So there'd be like 3 Stagg available. And that's the way it used to be. It's been a lot better here lately.
Yeah, maybe Ohio finally is like, you know what? Instead of releasing this like every other month, we'll just do every like quarter, just two cases, which I think
Thank
works a
you,
lot.
Shauna. Yeah, guys, hit the like button, please. It helps us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also because there's a lot more just available, right? I mean, Buffalo Trace is sending a lot more out, but Ohio is notorious for just not releasing everything. I think even in the last release, there was still batch 18 coming out because they just had it sitting in the warehouse somewhere. So,
yeah. And then Renee got that 15 that one time. It's just like
last year she got a batch 15. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, that's a really old batch. Yeah. Cincinnati. We used to have a lot of different places you could go, right? And there are a lot of Giant Eagles or Kroger's in that area. Or
Cincinnati's
I'm
probably
guessing it's down there.
A lot of stuff. I'm over here in the woods, so I've got squirrels, stray cats, and then occasionally Stagg.
Not this stag. He's got real stags, like deer running through his backyard.
Yeah,
Stag.
like, oh yeah, there's deer. One of my coworkers hit a deer on the way to work today. I'm like, yep, a lot of deer out here. So
yeah. But yeah, Trevor, I just think that there should be a lot of it out Saturday. It should be fairly obtainable if you're willing to get out there and wait for like 3 hours or so.
Yeah. See, it sucks because I know mine has Stagg, but not Taylor barrel proof. But then a lot of other places around here won't tell you. So you're like, so do you have it? And they're like, wow, we don't know. We didn't get the truck yet. And you're like, yeah, you did. You're lying. And that's how they're like, oh, well, we don't know. Or they're like, they didn't leave a list. And you're like, come on. Like, don't you want to sell your product? I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah. But this is a good week in Ohio for drops. Like I said, people are getting pretty good bottles when they're not the first 5 or 6 in line. Whenever it's like that, it's good.
Yeah, at least you're like, all right, I got a Taylor, and I was 7th, and I waited an hour versus 4 hours and got nothing or whatever. And you're like, well.
Right.
Yeah.
So drop's been good this week. Everybody remember next week on the 8th, next Saturday, is going to be our live stream giveaway. So just to mention that again, make sure you got that marked. We're going to start at 4:30 p.m. EST. So just make sure you're on the live to possibly win the bottles that we're giving away. You have to be there to win. So
yep, 4 bottles.
Except for the raffle bottles, you don't have to be there for those because people are sending in, and we'll spin that wheel. But for the Eagle Rares and the pin hooks, you need to be online to get it.
Yeah. So hopefully you're there and you can enjoy the day with us and maybe get a bottle. Yeah.
Renee said that 15, when she got the Stagg 15s, another time we hunted separately. Yeah, it was. I was at one store. She was at another. I got like a 22B or something, and she ended up getting that Stagg 15.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think wasn't there like a whole line debacle when that happened, where she was like, they were like, which one do you want? She's like, that one, no, that one, no, that one.
There were two cashiers open, and they had one box of 22A and one box of 15, and she was like 5th in line, so she would be like got the last, or 6th in line or whatever. She would have got the last 15, and people were trying to get in front of her, and she wouldn't let them. So
yeah, she's like, yeah,
yeah,
get away.
Jira says, should I get 2 more barrel proofs or 2 Staggs this Saturday? It depends. Are you looking to get them to use as trade or something, or are you looking to actually get to drink them? If it was to drink them, I'd get Stagg since you already got 2 barrel proofs or whatever. I got 2 barrel proofs. Yeah, I got 2 barrel proofs. Now I'm going to get a Stagg so that I got both to drink.
I don't know. I really like E.H. Taylor barrel proof. I would probably go.
Well, he's got 2 of them already though.
2 is one, and 1 is none. So you really only got one. You got to have an open one and a backup, and then like backup to your backup. You got to have as many barrel proofs as you can.
Renee said she boxed them out. Yeah, that's exactly what she had to do. She had to box them out so they didn't cut her in line.
Yeah.
People can get crazy when they're trying to get up there and get a bottle, trying to jump line and cut in front of people and stuff. Sometimes it gets bad.
Yeah, I've seen people like we're waiting, and then a guy pulled up and ran up in the front of the line. I was like, he's like, oh, I'm first. I'm like, no, we've all been here. We're waiting. He's like, no. I'm like, well, first of all, there's 6 bottles. I think it was just E.H. Taylor. Like, no one was really waiting that long. And he's like, no, I'm first. I'm like, well, you're six, but like there's 6 bottles. They don't wholesale here. Like you're gonna get one either way. And he like ran in the store, and it was a whole thing. I was like, ooh, here we go. So anywho,
Yeah, it gets nasty out there sometimes.
yeah. I was like, well,
One of each. You're one of each. Yeah, go ahead and you can do that. Get one of each. I'm looking to get another Stagg. So now they got two H Taylors. I'm good on the Taylors. Got one and a backup. So got to look for the Stagg now.
Look at who's number 7 in line and be like, they seem cool. All right, hey, I'll leave one for you. And if they're like really mean or whatever, you're like, all right, never mind.
He says, look for him tomorrow at New River. I don't know which one you were talking to. He said the 6'7" guy.
Yeah, you
Keith
can't miss him.
Tall, man. Yeah, you can't miss Keith. He's a big dude. You'll definitely know him when you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you guys going to get the Balboa rye tomorrow. I absolutely go get it. I think that's great. I've got a bottle still, but of the last batch they did, but I think it's great. I like it. I definitely think it's worth picking up. Yeah, Keith is hard to miss. You're right, Steven. But yeah, so that and the malted 6-year rye from New Riff's also really good.
Yeah. Did they give any update when the barrel pick will be ready? Not yet. Kind of waiting on them to be like, hey, it's dumped and this and bottled and the palletized and
yeah, not yet. They will send me an email when it's hitting the bottling line, and they'll say so I can go pick it up. They won't send anything until it's on the bottling line.
Yes, I do. I will trade you. But yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get
Brad, I'm good because I've got some already. I bought it before when I was down there. I've been to New Riff a million times, and I picked it up before it went out. Yeah. But Devin apparently wants one.
Oh wait, I thought you meant the Taylor barrel proof. My bad.
No. He's talking about the Balboa rye.
I don't know. I'm gonna get hopefully some Staggs this weekend, and then with the barrel pick bottles I've got, I'm like maybe not. I don't have one yet, but like I don't know. I'm getting ready to leave for a little bit, so I might just hold off until I get back.
Yeah.
So.
Jira, at my store, someone lied about the line count. Said it was only 5 in line. Said it was only 5 in line, but it was only 2. He was holding spots for his buddies. He said there were 5 in line. There were only 2 people, but he had 3 friends who were coming 2 hours later, and he was trying to say they were already in line. You got people who try to pull that dirty crap all the time.
If that ever happens, and I'm like, there's no chairs or markers or something, and they don't show up in like 10 seconds, like, hey, I was just running to get coffee or to go to the bathroom or something, and you're like, I don't know about that.
Oh, Trevor's saying the each Taylor barrel proof is popping up on OHLQ. Usually they hide that. Usually that's not one that's available, right? Normally the map is grayed out.
Last year's barrel proof, they would say it's available, but they didn't say the quantities because it'd be wholesale or whatever. I remember they did that like the night before. Maybe now they're doing because they're there for the week. So maybe that's a new thing. I saw Stagg was not available from supplier yesterday. So I don't know. It's weird. OHLQ does a whole like they'll tell you where like Weller is and I think Eagle Rare, but they won't tell you where Blanton's is or Taylor. They're like,
some stuff they always just gray out. I don't.
The weirdest thing. What's so much better about one versus the other that I can't know where one is, but I can know where the other one is. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, so good drops in Ohio this week, which makes me think that there's probably got to be like I haven't really heard much about this EH Taylor proof, the batch 13 dropping other places, but if we've got this much that's dropping, I'm surprised it's not all over because normally we come out later than everybody else.
Yeah, I've seen like some reviews, but I can't remember anyone saying it was better or worse, or like saying it was like you got to get it or no, it's not that good or whatever. Like I don't know. So.
Yeah, so I'm guessing maybe we got it a little earlier. This one, for some reason, they didn't hold as long as they do other stuff. And maybe it'll be hitting other places.
Maybe they want to release bottles at once so there wasn't like people missing out and stuff. They're like, we'll do Taylor and Stagg. And that way, hopefully, 12 or 18 people in line get it. And we don't have to deal with this like 3 days a week or 3 weeks.
That's actually a smart thing to do rather than releasing Stagg and then the next week the EH Taylor and cause like a ruckus several weeks in a row. Yeah. Release it all at once and it seems like every place or most places are getting like 1 case of barrel proof, 2 cases of Stagg. And then some of the bigger stores are getting like 2 cases of barrel proof and 3 cases of Stagg. So, you got a bunch of people able to get bottles, which is really nice that other people are able to get it. I know Patrick said he showed up at One Stop and he got that 24C and he wasn't there very long. So that's nice not to have to wait long too.
Yeah. I don't know. Last year it was my bachelor party morning of, and I was like, well, I know there's Taylor over here because they told me, and I was like, well, I'll go there in the morning. I like sat there all 3 hours, 4 hours. I was tired, and then at that night I was like, all right, we're having Taylor barrel proof and some other stuff, and I was like, all right, we're having a good time here. So at least it made it worth it, having the nice bottle or whatever. But it was like, man, then you got to go out that night and have a whole bachelor party. You're like, rough.
Jira said that he did a blind between 11, 12, and 13 of the EH, and it came out 12, 13, 11 for him. I generally prefer 12 over 11, so we'll see. I'm definitely do it. Find out.
Because I like that 11 is it doesn't have as much robust tobacco and leather.
Yeah, it's not the darker note. It's a little sweeter.
Yeah, but 11 comes off a little cleaner, but at the same time, my wife likes 11. So I was like, oh, you like 11? I will look for more of 11 than 12. But she doesn't drink anymore now because she's got a baby on the way. So we got a baby on the way. So until then, maybe when she's done, she'll have some more of the 11 or whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, I like them both, but I preferred the 12 over the 11 because I like those more tobacco notes and stuff than the 11 was sweeter, a little fruitier.
Yeah, a little more.
Trevor said the store he went to had the EH Taylor today, just 1 case. That seems to be what majority of stores are getting, 1 case of the barrel proof. And then they always hold 1 or 2 back, it seems. So 4 or 5 people may get a bottle.
So I'll have to see which other stores are getting Taylor or whatnot versus Stagg. Maybe I'll go somewhere else.
They're saying the Taylor's showing up, so you might want to check, Devin. I don't know. I think the next closest store is half an hour from you, but
yes,
if you really want that Taylor, you got to make that drive.
I'm gonna have to drive.
Yep.
We'll see. Yep. Oh well. But yeah, what else are you thinking after the Stagg here, Todd?
I'm going to drink a different Stagg, just more Stagg.
All right. I'll do the same.
Let's see what I got over here.
I'll leave this one. I got a little nip left in that one, so I'll keep here.
Here we go. Since 24 is dropping this week, I'll do some of the 24A, which I thought 24A was an absolutely fantastic batch. I really like it.
I got 22B left, and I might just kill it, but we'll see. I've got very little left. I already poured a little pour of it, but I'm at the wit's end of this bottle here.
That one's about gone. Brad just did the 23B sample that David gave him. What do you think of that one, David? What do you think of the B?
Yeah.
I personally, I like the 23B, but it's kind of hot. It's it drinks a little hot. It's got really, really nice finish on it, but and the palate's nice. It's a little hot. 23A is a little smoother drink, but
spoiler alert if you didn't see our video already, earlier this week.
The video that got released yesterday, where we actually we actually did a blind between the Stagg 23A, B, and C. Yeah, that 24A has an absolutely fantastic nose.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, Rob. What are you drinking? Man, that smells so good. Yeah, but I'm going to try that Havana that Ken sent us that sample of, because that's also dropping this week. And I don't know if I want to get a bottle because I have never had it. I don't want to buy it without having a sample, so I got to try that first.
Let me know what you think, because it's got rum and maple syrup finish.
It's rum and maple finished. Rum and maple barrel finished.
Yeah. Maple barrel or maple syrup that was in a barrel? Do you know?
No, I think it's a maple syrup barrel. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll buy that. I don't know.
I just know it says like maple and rum finish, so I'm guessing it was a barrel that had maple syrup in it. I'm guessing. Just water right now. You'll catch up. It's still early.
Yeah. I'm gonna put these in front of me so I know which is which, so I don't mess this up. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm liking the 22B just a little bit more than the 22 or 23B.
Brad, hang on to that Rio sample for batch 1, and I'll bring you a batch 2 whenever I come down to pick up the new Riff bottle, because I have batch 2 open.
Yeah. I might start collecting all the Penelope bottles now.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of disappointed in a lot of the Penelope. I mean, I had several bottles. I do like the Rio as like a dessert pour, and the 9 year's not bad, but I just haven't bought the others because
we did that wheel of whiskey, and it was like, we thought it would be like, it's just pretty good for like a $40, $45 bottle, and then it was like,
it's $100. Yeah.
Damn.
That 24 berry.
That a crack too. That was a fresh crack. So we might have to.
It was a fresh crack. It's actually better. I've tried it since it got better.
Okay, good.
Barry's going to open 24A when he gets home. Fantastic. What I got, I love it.
Do it.
Here I asked, how fast should you open allocated products? So it depends what it is to me. I mean, if you're talking like a Weller Antique or something like that, you just open it when the first one, when one gets empty, you open another one. But for stuff like the batch 13, I like to save it till I'm going to be able to share it with people. So I don't that's why I didn't open it tonight. I'm here by myself, but I know like next Saturday I'm going to have people over. We're going to do, we're doing a live stream, but we're having some friends over. We're going to have a little party after, and I'll save it to open then, because I like to share it. Like special bottles that are harder to get, I like to share. So I hold them until I got other people with me instead of opening them by myself.
Yeah, or if you have like a special occasion bottle, like getting a house, and you're like, I want to open a King Kentucky. You're like, heck yeah,
like right. You get something really special like that. Like Brad's talking about saving the King of Kentucky. I know Devin, when he closed on his house, opened the William Louis Weller.
Yep, I opened that, and now it is in the bar top. So I was like, I'm gonna put that bottle in my bar because I cracked it when I got the house, and now it's in the bar. So
he doesn't have any friends into bourbon. Oh, that stinks.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, then you open them on the live stream with us. You tell us what you're drinking. Say, hey, I'm cracking my H. Taylor 13 or whatever.
And they're like, what's this? And you're like, well, just try it. And they're like, oh, this is terrible. Or they shoot it, and you're like, no, slow down. That's how my buddy got me into bourbon. He's like, well, try this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm more of like a gin vodka guy. He's like, just try this. It's way easier. And I was like, well,
Trevor will be your friend if you want to open allocated bottles. Trevor said, I'll be your friend.
He's just like, you right here. Let's hang out.
So next Saturday when we do our live stream, we're also going to have some special guests join us via StreamYard. So they'll be remote. So it's going to be Devin and I, and we'll have some other people joining us as well.
Yep.
Brad, I force people to drink it with me. Card nights get wild.
Yeah, beer's gone. You're like, well, what's left? You're like, well, how about this hard liquor? Oh, okay, just try this. Yeah, try it neat.
Brad, was it like the night of the barrel pick where I made you sit there and drink all those samples with me? You know the sample box that I keep in my trunk, Devin? I got like 20, 30 samples in it.
I know.
Yeah, that night we drank every sample in that box. We cleaned it out.
I was there until I was like, you know what? I am going to wake up early tomorrow.
It will be, Walt.
Yeah. And then I just remember coming back. I gave you that card, and you were like, oh, yeah, we're just still sipping out of this. Let's try this one. Let's try that one. I was like, oh, okay. Well, nice.
We cleaned that whole box out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, as long as you're enjoying it, like good times.
That's right. We had a good time.
That's when you run into someone the next day, and they're like, hey, the best bourbon and whiskey. And you're like, oh, it's gone.
Yeah, nobody said anything to me the next day. I'd have been out.
Yeah. Too funny. All right.
Walt, there are samples in the mail for you to join when we do the live stream. I sent samples to you and some others. So We're all going to be trying the same thing, and I'm the only one who knows what it is, but we'll try them all together.
Hey, how's the fill level on your Frankenstein right now?
No, there's no Frankenstein.
You
No
sure?
Frankenstein in the batch. I'm positive.
All right,
Yeah,
just make sure he's
I'm
not
not.
like,
I
let's
wouldn't
get
do that.
out of here.
I sent good stuff. I sent good stuff.
Yeah. That would be like a fun like whiskey drinking game where you're just like, all right, Frankenstein, you got me.
Brad said he woke up with samples on his shelf. He has no idea where they came from. I don't know what you took home either.
If it's got this much and it's really dark, it's the 13th colony. I'm trying to remember what all that was in there, but
there's so many.
I know. A lot.
It's too much for them. They don't have the bourbon bug. It's like too much like the hunting's too much, the money's too much, or do they just not drink hard liquor? I mean, there's some people who just like they only drink beer and stuff like that. But
yeah,
what you got to do is you got to find the right bottle for them to try to get them into it. Like once they hit that one bottle, they're like, man, this is really good. Then they'll catch that bug.
Yeah, just like let them try King of Kentucky or like George C. Stagg or something.
Mm-mm.
And after that, they'll be hooked. They'll just love M. Williams white label and be done.
If they don't drink hard liquor, you don't want to start them with something that high.
No.
You got to hit them with something. You got to.
My buddy was like, "Here, try some Weller." I was like, "All right, this is pretty soft and nice." He's like, "Yeah, put some ice cubes in there." I was like, "All right, it's pretty good." And then you sip it down. You're like, "This is really easy." And then Buffalo Trace and all that, and then yeah.
He said, "Frontiersman, I love your channel. Keep up the great work." Yeah, so Frontiersman Adventures. If you guys don't know, he has a channel. I actually first saw his channel because he was doing Bigfoot hunts. So, and I'm into all the cryptid stuff, obviously, all the Bigfoot stuff. And that was like the first video I saw was him hunting Bigfoots. And then I saw he also does bourbon hunting. I was like, well, this is perfect. So got to watch this channel. Bigfoot and bourbon.
Win-win. I got to find Bigfoot that's holding bourbon and be done.
Well, he's back there. He's got a bottle in his hand.
Yeah, I know. He's just...
yeah. But yeah, so guys, if you haven't, go check out Frontiersman Adventures. Check out their channel.
Yeah.
And any of you guys in the chat, you have a channel, you can put the link in. I certainly don't mind. So if anybody here wants to go check it out, they're welcome.
Yeah, Brad, I'm more of a bourbon guy. I used to do vodka and gin and all that, making the cocktails and sipping beer here and there. But I was like, man, I'm just 99% bourbon now. So
yeah, I drink whiskey, and every once in a while I'll drink some mead. I like mead, but that's really about it. I don't really drink beer. I haven't anymore. I did like years ago, but it's all whiskey and an occasional mead for me.
Yeah, like I don't know if I said this before, but last year I counted how many beers I had. I was like, I had 5 beers the whole year. Because every time I'd have one, I'm like, hey, this is the first beer I've had this year. And then it was like the second, third, and I was like, all right, this is like Corona or whatever. I'm like, I guess 5th beer of the year. That's it, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I maybe had 3 or 4. I didn't have many.
Yeah.
So I'd rather even if I'm out, like at an event that's like a work event or something where they don't have like a really good selection to drink stuff neat, I'll just get a mixed drink. I'll get a Jack and Coke or something like that. Yeah. I don't get a beer or thing.
Yeah. A lot of places I'm like, what do you have? They're like Jack, Jim, and Makers. I'm like, all right, Makers it is. And then I'm like, you know what? You're out of Makers. I'm going to try Jim or Jack. And then I just tried different random ones, whatever.
Those are the 3: Jack 7, Jim Beam White Label, and some don't even have Makers, but the third one is usually Makers.
Yeah. But it's weird how they always have like, there's always like the 2 or 3 that you're like, yep, can't be wrong. And I know you got one of the 2 there or 3 or whatever it is. So.
Yep.
So I also did get some samples from Ken and or Keith. Yeah, Keith. My bad. Anyway, I've got the Smooth Ambler. I'm gonna try that one. I think. What do you think?
Smooth Ambler. That's I think that's MGP, right? That's MGP. That's the West Virginia distillery.
So they have a Smooth Ambler. Usually it's like a 5 or a 6 year. And then they used to have like higher age ones, like 10 years, 12 years. And I think they cut back down to it, but I'm pretty sure it's just MGP. But this one's a Founders Cast Series, 63.5% 8 year. So, Keith, I'm really excited to try this one.
Now I know that distillery has released their own stuff. I can't remember what it's called though.
Bankruptcy. No, I'm kidding.
No. But I think that Smooth, like Old Scout. Old Scout is from Smooth
Old
Amber,
Scout,
right?
Yeah.
Old Scout, and that's the MGP. But they have like a Smooth Amber, like I want to say like confiscated or something like that. That's their juice that's been released. I want to go visit them. They're in West Virginia. I want to hit some distilleries outside of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Over this year.
Hey, lady. She's jumping in my my one cabinet over here. Give me a second here.
When y'all get super old, what's going to happen to all those bottles? I'm already super old, so I don't know. I'll keep drinking until they put me in the ground, and then I won't care, I guess, because I'll be in the ground. But I'm already old and old. There you go, Brad. Well, I dump them all into barrels, and in my wake, let people just pull thieve out bottles.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my whole decanter shelf from like my old Jim Beams and all that stuff. My cat just decided I'm gonna jump up and jump on in and hang out with all the decanters. I'm like, well, that's just like tempered glass. I really hope she doesn't break that.
Oh yeah. Don't want to knock that over. That'd be awful.
I think she's on the shelf.
Devin has a cabinet full of Jim Beam decanters, and about half of them are full.
Yeah,
like Jim Beam Wild Turkey from like the 70s.
Yeah, she jumped in with the 120-month-year train and the Jim Beam truck. That was the level she was on. I was like, great. So,
Anthony, congratulations on the 24C. I'm guessing you're in Ohio. If you got it at MSRP or SRP, because most other states you don't see it for SRP. When we were down there in Kentucky, we saw some on the shelves down in Louisville, and they were all like $150 to $170. So
yeah, I'm not sure if you saw Keith's comment earlier. If you answered it, he asked if they all open at 10 o'clock. The Giant Eagles, usually they're like at 9.
9. They start selling at 9. So the stores generally open at 7 and let you in, and you'll line up outside the liquor departments, and the liquor departments start selling at 9:01. They legally can't sell till 9:01.
Yep. So some places will be like, we don't open till 10 or whatever, and that's like their policy, but they're not like a Giant Eagle or whatnot. So some places you'll see people that are like, I go here at 9, and they go here at 10, or like I go here at 9 in the morning, and then I go here at 6 for some other stores release at night, and you're like, holy cow, geez Louise.
Trevor asked, where in Ohio are we? I am in the Akron area, and Devin is further north. He's up towards Cleveland.
I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm out in like Middlefield, Burton, Chardon area.
So we're in northeast Ohio.
Yeah. There's buggies out here. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. There's the snow belt. We drove to your house and it wasn't snowing anywhere around us, and then driving to your house, we're hit with a blizzard.
I was like, so you know, there's going to be some snow here. We'll see. So,
hi, Frontier Tina.
Ooh, the Whiskey Warehouse. Ooh.
Yeah. So Paul says when he dies, he's going to let the club have dibs on his Whiskey Warehouse. Paul, that is a recipe for assassination. Don't put that in writing.
DPG, that bourbon guy is now JFK.
Right.
Yeah.
Walt said, did you have that Wild Turkey May discontinued Kentucky Spirit? That's because they're doing the Wild Turkey 101 as private barrels now. So that's just replacing Kentucky Spirit, right? I think that's what it is. They're just kind of do that label change to 101 private barrels.
I'm not sure. I've been really getting into Wild Turkey lately, but I'm not sure how they've been doing all their like Kentucky Spirit for single barrels, or if like the single barrels like it was distillery only, if they're switching to that or what, but I'm not sure.
Well, they did that last year. They switched that label so that their single barrels are now Wild Turkey 101 single barrels instead of being labeled Kentucky Spirit. But I also saw a news release that Wild Turkey is going to be doing barrel proof single barrel picks.
Yeah.
So like right now, like it's all 101 or whatever, they they cut it down to 101. They're going to be doing barrel proof picks.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be nice.
Which would be awesome. I want to get a barrel proof pick.
Yeah. So
thank you very much, Walt. Appreciate it.
No, I got a guy. It's pretty good. I think it's awesome.
Yes.
Gifts.
So Wild Turkey is going to be doing barrel proof picks coming forward this year, which will be awesome. I definitely got to try some of those. And Knob Creek has opened up their single barrel program to just like groups and stuff and individuals. You no longer have to be a store to do a Knob Creek pick.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Interesting. We might have to do one, in 2026 or something like that, and hopefully by then
when you get back,
something for Wild Turkey or something.
Yeah, when you get back. So I've been reaching out to try to find some retailers who are nationwide we could do like a barrel pick and it'd be available to everybody and stuff like that. I've been trying to contact some people and work on some stuff, trying to make some connections.
So this Smooth Ambler,
I would love to do a Knob Creek barrel pick. I love Knob Creek picks. Yeah. They're fantastic. And now they're
Jim Beams. Better than, not the Jim Beams, the Bookers, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would tell. I don't buy Bookers anymore. The only one I bought was the reserves.
Yeah,
I don't buy the regular Booker releases anymore. I just get a Knob Creek store pick.
Yeah. Hey, the Smooth Ambler, the nose on this is really good, and like spicy and sweet at the same time. It's like.
Did that have the proof on it?
63.5 ABV, so 127.
So right in that great proof point. Right between that 120 130.
Yeah, but you definitely get like that like darkness to it. It's not just any I don't know, it's pretty balanced. I like it.
But yeah, I would love to do like a Knob Creek pick or a Wild Turkey pick or something like that. We'll see what comes up. We definitely want to keep growing and keep working towards doing some of that stuff, especially on our Patreon. If you haven't, guys, you can go check out our Patreon. If you just join the free level, sometimes we post updates, for anybody who's a member, and not just the private stuff. But so that's like who we did, like people in our barrel pick that joined us were drawn from our Patreon, and they were going to do the Weller Foolproof giveaway to members of Patreon. So we're trying to build that Patreon community as well.
Yep. So,
cheers, Gandy.
Ooh. I'm gonna try this against the Stagg here.
Yeah, Brad. I know what you meant, Brad. I was reading that. I was like, "What do you mean proof, not pick?" Yeah, I didn't even notice you had said proof before. Yeah, Knob Creek pick would be fantastic. I love Knob Creek. I like Jim Beam in general. I like a lot of Jim Beam stuff. I like the Bakers. I like the Knob Creeks, all that stuff. So even the Jim Beam single barrels, like they're like $25, $23. Those Jim Beam single barrels, those tend to be pretty good too. I remember the first time I had one of those was at one of our meetings when Craig brought it. And we were all like, I don't think any of us had ever had one.
Was that the really old one he had? That was like the gold label one?
He did bring something that he got from maybe when he's in Hawaii, maybe? It was some weird, it was like an old label one.
Continued, and it was like a gold label. I was like, this is really good. What the heck is this? He's like, you can't get it anymore. I'm like, damn. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Todd, did you try Havana yet?
Not yet, no.
Oof, I don't know. So if I strike out this weekend, I can at least get that, hopefully, but we'll see.
Jared says, when's the Whiskey Sippers meetup? Something else I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to figure out like a meetup, like a meet and greet. I have some other channels who are interested. Yeah. We could do like several YouTube channels, but we have to find like a space and figure out how much it'll cost. And we have to how many people do you think we would show up? And I've never done anything like that before, setting up events. So I'm trying to learn as I go. If someone out there is an event planner and wants to contact me and give me some tips or whatever, please email me.
The hardest part, I think, is like being able to be like, hey, we're going to bring our own liquor here and have a party, or you have to go someplace where you can't bring your own and you have to have the venue's liquor or something like that.
Yeah, you don't want that. We're definitely going to want to go somewhere where we can bring our own. I was hoping like a hotel conference room type thing. I've reached out to some hotels about some possibility in like a June or July, but they said, oh, well, we can't accommodate that. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
We'll have to do like a wedding, and we'll just do a marriage of YouTube channels, and it'll just be like a caterer with food, and they'll have their own bartender with our bourbon. They're like,
we'll make Patrick get married. We'll just book a wedding reception. Say Patrick's going to marry someone. Patrick, go find yourself a bride.
A good time. So. All right,
Trevor said, "What's your ideal proof? It gives good flavor, but not too much alcohol kick." I like stuff in the 120s a lot. But whether or not it has heavy ethanol depends a lot on what brand it is and like how old it is and stuff like that. So you can have stuff that's in the 120s that's ethanol heavy because it hasn't aged that long, or but you can have other stuff. That's why people like older whiskey. As it gets older, it loses a lot of that ethanol punch, right? So when you get something, I like the Jack Daniels, like in the 120s, are really good. To me, they kind of cycle. I think they're a little older, and they come across real well. So it all depends. It varies brand to brand. Like I find a lot of the Old Forester barrel proofs, I love them, but when you first open them, they're really hot. You got to let them sit.
You're like, whoa! I'm starting to get the hiccups.
You got to let them open up for a little bit. But after like a couple of weeks, a lot of that ethanol is gone, and they drink really, really flavorful. So it all depends on what bottle you get, and sometimes it's like a open it and let it wait type thing.
Yeah. I really like the 1-teens, like 115 to 120. That's usually like a good, like, you don't get a lot of kick, but you get like enough mouthfeel. You're like, oh, okay. But it's not unenjoyable, but you still get some, you taste the whiskey kind of a thing. So
Trevor said, if you're not selling anything, no permits are required. I don't think it's a permit thing, but it's more like a
liability.
Like the venue, right? Like the venue said, no, nobody's allowed to bring outside alcohol in. So you have to find the right venue. It's their rules more than it is like a legal permit type thing. Because we're not looking at. I wouldn't want to like get there like trying to sell, like run my own bar. I just want to do a bottle share. But it's got to be somewhere where you can have multiple people and we can meet up and do it.
Yeah, I think they just don't want the liability of like, oh, someone was drinking here and they fell and split their head open, and you're like, whoops, sorry.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Do y'all want to meet up in Cleveland or more central? You can help plan it. So I was thinking either like a central Ohio or a northern Kentucky, southern Ohio, right? Like in that, if you're around that Cincinnati, northern Kentucky area, you also got like some distilleries right there that people can make, like if we do it on a Saturday, they can make a whole weekend out of it. But you can do the same if you're near Columbus, because Columbus has a ton of stuff to do. So I think central Ohio or southern Kentucky would be a good place to meet up.
If you do like a 4 o'clock on a Saturday, you're like, okay, you can do Friday, get to wherever, do a bottle hunting and whatever. Saturday morning hunting wherever, and then
like a 6 to 11. Yeah, you do like a 6 to 11 type meet, right, in the evening.
Yeah.
So
and then you have Sunday where you're like, either you have that time to relax and drive home, whatever, fly home, whatever it is, or
right,
like, I'll home one more place and then I'll drive, and you're like, all right.
Sunday's a travel day. Yeah.
What
am I going to grab here, Devin?
Do the Havana. I gotta know. Let me know.
I don't know. The proof is good on that after I drink a Stagg.
93 proof. It'll be fine. See, I got my numbers right here. I'm all good on it. Trying to think what else.
All right, I got the Havana.
I'm not
sure if Ken. I like bourbon a lot for the Havana sample. I was going to try this after the live anyway.
The short barrel bee's knees. I'm not sure if that's like a honey finished one or not, but
save some of that for me. I want to try that.
I will. I'm only doing like little like quarter-ounce pours here just to try it and be like, well, how is it?
All right. So here we go with the Penelope Havana.
I'll try this little glass here.
Somebody said something about you guys are. I think I lost the conversation. They were talking about camping somewhere, Devin. I think I'd rather have like an indoor venue.
So I don't know if you know this, but I'm also an Eagle Scout, and I don't like camping as much as I used to. I'd rather just be like, no, we're gonna stay inside and enjoy the not cold weather of Ohio.
There he is. Thank you, Ken, for the samples. He sent us a bunch of the Penelope samples, Devin. and I sent him back some new riff, and I think he said he really liked the new riff.
Awesome.
So
Good.
I think I converted somebody to new riff.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got a bottle from our pick, and if not, maybe.
No, I don't think he did. He's not in the Patreon.
That's all right. But well, hopefully you like new riff, and if we do another one, hopefully you get another one there, or the Balboa Rye, I guess, is pretty good.
Okay.
Wow, these knees is the bee's knees, at least on the nose. So.
So I get more rum than maple on the nose of this Havana.
Yeah. I heard like you get like the one, and then you taste it, and you're like, all right, now I get the taste of this one, and then you switch back. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, this is more molasses than maple for sure. He said he really loved the malted rye. I sent him the 6-year malted rye. What all did I send him? The 6-year malted rye, the Silver Grove, one of my barrel picks I've done. I can't remember what else. There's only 3 I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I sent out a bunch of samples this week. So
if you get the 8 years, put them together after you try them.
Yeah, I actually blended some. I got a bottle with some of that blended.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, the 8-year rye and the 8-year bourbon. I blended them together 50-50.
Blend. When you put them together, yeah. I was like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually really good together.
Yeah.
Jeez, Brad. His buddy owns 65 acres next to a campground in Corinth.
Where's Corinth at?
Kentucky? I think they were saying Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. I love Kentucky. I go 4 times a year. Some people don't get me started.
Yeah, well, Devin's all about the pew-pews.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting a lot more rum. I'm still not really getting any maple. I'm trying to give it some time to open up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes from Woodford. Well, I know where Woodford is.
So it's like Buffalo Trace, Four Roses, Woodford, maybe Wild Turkey, shoot guns, sleep. Okay. Or should we shoot guns first and then do the...
Yeah, you might want to shoot guns before you hit the distilleries.
Don't want to get in trouble now. Keith, do you have more information on this the short barrel bee's knees? Does it have like honey in it, or is it just like their name of their like this brand?
It's got to be honey, at least honey finished, right? For bee's knees, it's got to have something to do with honey. I'm guessing it's probably a honey finished barrel.
If it has nothing to do with bees, it definitely has to do with knees and joints. So, but it definitely tastes pretty sweet. So.
Yeah, that's what I sent in. The yellow lemming, a single barrel, the malted rye, and the Silver Grove.
Yeah.
Trigger happy machine gunner, huh?
I am also a machine gunner. I shoot machine guns on the regular, and I really
every day.
Not every day, but some days.
Brad said that bee's knees is a double toasted and honey cask.
Double toasted honey cask. I don't get like an overly sweet one, but I really like this.
Renee and Shauna agree, say that they just do glamping only. They don't do regular camping.
Yeah. Yeah, what hotel are we camping in? Oh, this one sounds good.
Yeah, right. I'm camping in my king size bed.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good.
All right, time to try this Havana. I've given it time to open up. I'm still not getting any kind of like maple on the nose.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Yeah, this bee's knees is really the bee's knees. It's like perfect balance of sweetness and savory toastedness. What I'm not sure what the proof is on this, but it can't be too high. It's got to be probably around 100 or so, maybe a little less.
So this Havana is sweet on the front. It's got a nice sweetness on the front, but when it gets to the back of the palate, I get that molasses bitterness from the rum. It's like a little like sweet and kind of bitter.
No. Sweet and bitter. So
yeah,
it's like
sweet
and bitter. Rum. No.
Yeah. Like, have you ever tried molasses, like any blackstrap molasses, like just straight molasses? It's got that taste to it for sure.
No.
But I also have been drinking a couple of pours of Stagg, so I'm going from 100 and what I'm at 127 proof to I don't think the Havana very high proof.
Goodness, this 23B really opened up after I let it sit here for about half an hour. After like I sipped on a little bit and I set it aside and let the other ones go. That is super sweet on the nose now.
I remember when we did it, and before I have like the finish on it is a nice fruity finish. That's what I like about the 23B is it had a nice fruit on the finish, like a red apple.
Exceptional right now. It's like, whew, me gusta mucho, senor.
So that's exactly what I'm experiencing here, Ken, is the Havana. The Havana is more rum than a bourbon. I get that molasses, that blackstrap molasses, which to me has a little bit of bitterness to it. And I really get that on the finish. Gandy, that may be an unpopular opinion overall, but I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Honey finish stuff to me, a lot of time, it tastes like hay. It's like I don't know what it is. It just tastes like hay.
I know.
I know, Devin. I've said that a million times, and you've heard it, but they may not have. I think stuff that's finished in honey barrels tastes like hay.
It's just the honey finished Woodford. I got it 2 years ago, a year and a half. Bottling 2022. I went down there and it was the random release. They were like, "Hey, by the way, this weekend we're doing this." I was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna go there and get a few bottles." So I got some, and I was like, "This tastes like hay. This tastes like a bunch of hay." So I will try it.
And I've got the same on other. The only thing I've had finished in honey so far that I really liked was the Blue Note rye honey finished. And I think it's because it was the rye. I think it made it a lot better than bourbon finished in honey.
Yeah. You know when you get like a nice like Christmas cocktail and it's got a nice cinnamon stick in it, and you're like, "Wow, this is going to be really nice," right? This is the same as that, but instead of a cinnamon stick, it's a bale of hay.
Yeah. Barron said, like, Devin, the proof is around 150.
Hay maize or corn maize with all the hay next to it, but there's no corn and there's no maize and there's no pumpkins.
Barry said that the proof is around 115 to 118.
Yeah, that I thought it was a little less than that, but I really like when places do like not these like Woodford style finishes where they're like, all right, it's gonna be 90 proof or 86 proof or something. You're like, at least give it some oomph to it, so at least get the heat with the sweetness or whatnot. So
Gandy says that they're going to say that rye works better than bourbon with honey finish, and that's what my experience is. Yeah. Honey finished bourbon, I just haven't liked. The only one thing I've had finished in honey barrel that I liked was the rye, the Blue Note.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's better than the Woodford. But yeah. So, well, I have a couple minutes left before I have to go. But I'm really enjoying some of these pours here, and the Staggs are definitely the highlight of the night. And the short barrel was really good. The smooth amber was nice. And I'm really looking forward to our February 8th live stream.
Yep. And remember, guys, these Weller 107s will be raffled off for every $5 in Super Chat you send or $4 in Zelle or PayPal. You get an entry into the raffle for these, and that will happen on February 8th. Also, during the live on February 8th, we will be giving away to people who are present. We got 2 Eagle Rares and 2 Pinhook store picks. Yep. And then our Patreon members, one lucky member, will win a Weller Full Proof. Oh. So we will see you next Thursday, and then that Saturday after will be our live giveaway live stream.
Yep.
So everybody, thank you for joining us. And until next time, remember, the best bourbon or whiskey
is apparently one of the ones you like the most. So
there you go.
Enjoy it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right. Cheers, guys. See ya.